Hi, friends. How's it going? Recently, I was at the grocery and I found these pineapples right here. So, today I'm going to talk about my pineapple cutting technique and share a little bit about pineapples that I've discovered over the years. So, here we go. First, I'm going to select the pineapple that I want to cut today. Okay, and then we're in the stand today. So, here we go. Okay. Excellent. All right. So, first of all, when you go to the grocery, you want to find a pineapple that's already pretty yellow. This one's got some greenness going on, which is a little less than ideal, but I can tell this one's ripe, so I'm going to cut it first out of the other two. But generally, you want to find a yellow one because pineapples don't really ripen up in transport and storage very well. So yeah, so look for yellow ones. They tend to do a lot better. The second thing on picking a somewhat ripe pineapple is that this bottom portion will have a really nice aroma to it. Yeah, you're looking for that pineapple smell. And as they get more ripe, the pineapple will get softer and softer, obviously, but also it'll have a more and more pungent smell. You can see this one's kind of a little wet on the outside as the juice is working its way out. So I know this one's ready to go. Second tip, or third tip perhaps, about ripe pineapples is that when a pineapple's getting ripe, the little leaves up here, I don't know what they're actually called, but I'll call them leaves. When you pull on them, they should pop out pretty easily. Not all of them, because they're sometimes protected by the others. But yeah, they're getting ripe when you can just kind of easily pop those guys out. So that's my tips. Those rather are my tips on selecting a ripe pineapple. But when it comes time to cut the pineapple, this is what I like to do. First, just grab this top portion and twist the pineapple and pop that guy off. Cool. This one had a weird neck kind of configuration, which is really nice. Okay, so once I've pulled off that top portion, my next step is to take your favorite knife and to chop straight down on that top portion, saving as much of the fruit as possible. Then I'm going to spin this boy around. I'm going to do the same on the other side. There we go. Yeah, this one looks pretty darn good. Yeah, and smells amazing. Okay. And the purpose of doing that is just so that it lays flat. Next, I'm going to cut the sides off the pineapple. Like that. Boom. I've seen some really complicated and beautiful techniques for cutting pineapples, but I find this to be the easiest. So that's what I'm showing you. The easiest, simplest way to get the pineapple prepared. And of course, again, I'm trying to save as much of the fruit as possible. This is not perfectly ripe, but yeah. That's another thing about buying lots of fruit. You just kind of have to go with the ripest one you've got in the moment a lot of times when you're preparing it for home and stuff. I'm actually preparing this pineapple rather, for work and whatnot tomorrow. So I've got these Pyrex containers I'm going to prepare it into. But okay. Kind of cleaning it up, getting rid of all the green parts and stuff that I don't want to eat. Okay. How are we looking here? Pretty good. Just going to get rid of these rough sections. Not very edible. Get rid of that stuff. Excellent. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now, some people will go further and they'll get rid of all these little circular portions. I don't think it's necessary. I think this is perfectly good. Again, I'm just trying to get rid of the green parts. You don't have to go crazy. It's like apples. A lot of times people eat apples and they kind of get rid of the entire core. I find that most of the core is pretty edible. So That's where I am right now, right? Okay, sweet. Excellent. Now, of course, the very center, this very circular part, is a little too tough to eat. So our next step is to get rid of that circular part all the way through. So I'm just lining my knife up so that I get rid of everything from that circular portion. It's like all this is totally good. A lot of people wouldn't eat this kind of rougher part here, but it's totally edible. It's delicious. You just want that very center off the pineapple that you're not going to eat. So I'm cutting kind of 4 big sections. Again, getting rid of that really rough center portion. And that's all that I don't want to eat. Boom. Okay, now we're looking good. Again, this is so hard. I'm not going to eat that, but everything else is legit. And if you didn't get rid of all that you meant to, you know, when you eat it, you're going to notice, okay, this maybe is a little rough. So you can do it then as well. You don't have to nail it right when you're preparing it all the time. All right, so now you see I've got my 4 sections. I've laid them sideways, and now I'm going to cut them into little squares. Mostly because I find that the little squares or rectangles are way easier to prepare, to pack inside of a Pyrex or something like that. Easier to transport. I'm just going to make this into 3 sections here. Sweet. Cool. I've got my pineapple ready to go here. And I'm just going to make my little squares / rectangles. Oh. Nice. Boom. And honestly, that's all there is to it, right? It's very simple. Oh yeah, let's see. Before I use this square container, I'm going to use this one, I suppose. See, it's a rectangular container, so why not use rectangular pineapples to go in there, right? Makes perfect sense. All right, so there we go. Excellent. Okay, and you can obviously tell where I'm going with the rest of this project. Real simple. So that's what I wanted to share about my pineapple technique. That's what I wanted to share today. I hope you all are having a great day. And also, you know, I could do an ode to pineapple because this is one of the absolute favorite fruits. I can't decide if the mango or the pineapple or maybe a guava is my favorite fruit. There's so many. All I know is if I lived in a tropical area or somewhere where pineapples were plentiful, I would be eating at least one of them every day. Good stuff. Anyway, have a great day. I hope you guys are doing good, and I'll see you on the next one.